In April, after nearly 24 years on the air, Larry David's iconic HBO series Curb Your Enthusiasm came to an end. For 12 seasons, Larry played a heightened version of himself, a character who hilariously turned his petty personal grievances into everyone else's problem. In this year's final season, for reasons that remain unclear, Larry asked me to play myself in an episode of Curb, giving me an inside look at the brilliance of his show. This fall, Larry is out on tour having conversations and airing those gripes before sold-out crowds. Larry and I got together in New York a few months back for a Sunday Sitdown just before Curb wrapped for good.
Hey!
Hey! Do you like Girl Scout cookies?
I find them abhorrent, but come in.
Larry David, the character at the center of Curb Your Enthusiasm, says what everyone else is thinking.
It's cute, right?
No, not really.
But the line between that Larry and the man who plays him on TV
He's got dementia.
So what? Dementia's not a license to steal, is it?
always has been a bit blurry.
I'm doing this character, Larry, who is really me, but a me who can't really be in society because I'd be arrested or beaten up every day. But here I have the license to really be who I am, which is that guy.
It's weird. It's a strange thing to say, Larry.
Why? What's the big deal?
Earlier this year, the 77-year-old David said goodbye to the show that debuted in the year 2000.
Is there any shred of sentimentality that comes with that for you?
Maybe a shred, the slightest shred. I'm too old to really be on camera every single week now. To act the way I do on this show. How can I continue to act like that? It's insane. As an old, I could do it in my 50s and 60s and mid to mid 70s. I'm not going into the 80s acting like that.
This is Willie Geist from NBC News.
Big fan, man.
We have a couple of questions we'd like to ask you.
What is it about this season, do you think, that has been so special? Because it's always the writing and the situations you put yourself in, but the casting, myself not included, but...
No, yourself included.
No, I didn't mean to walk into that.
You walked into it, and I'm staying with it for a minute. You were fantastic on the show. A natural, you could be an actor if you wanted to, easily. And by the way, you know, it's not that hard.
You sure about that, Larry?
Yeah, I'm sure.
And everyone, since that has come out, has asked me, it's not really, it's scripted, right?
Yeah.
I go, no.
That's what makes it so much fun. The actors and the cast, they kill me. I couldn't imagine ever having more fun in my life than I did doing that show. I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty good.
Growing up in Brooklyn with a mother who desperately wanted him to be a mailman, David never considered a life in comedy.
I didn't think I was capable of doing anything. The fact that this has happened to me is miraculous. I can't even believe it.
So it's not that you didn't dream of being a comedian, it's that you didn't dream of being anything.
Yeah, I didn't dream of being anything.
Right.
Yeah.
After graduating from the University of Maryland with a degree in history, David joined the Army Reserves and picked up odd jobs before finding comedy in a very Larry David way.
I want to establish where we are right now, this building, which is kind of where you got your start in comedy at the Improv.
Yes, that's where I bombed hundreds, if not thousands of times. There's a slight PTSD factor here.
Sure.
I'm already hearing, get off the stage! Hey, you're funnier than this guy. Go to hell! You know, that's what I have to put up with.
But you came first to see a show, and you looked up and you said, I think I could probably do that.
You know, I'm watching the accent. I'm going, yeah. I go, I was funny to this guy. You know? This is insane, okay? And I said to Bud Friedman, the owner of the club, a legend, can I go on? And he said, are you a comedian? I said, no. He said, you can't go on. No, you can't go on. You got to audition, and there's a whole process.
Does this neighborhood bear any resemblance to the way you remember it?
All the stores have changed. Oh, wait a second, the Westway Diner. That's where Jerry and I went to talk about the show.
Is it really?
I swear to God, yeah.
That's a historic landmark then.
I don't think I'd go that far.
When Larry and Jerry Seinfeld first huddled at that diner to create what would become one of the most successful shows in the history of television.
Nothing for you.
They were comedians on the New York stand-up scene who often got together to talk through material. Many of the characters and the absurd scenarios on Seinfeld were inspired by David's real life.
I quit.
Including his short, ill-fated stint as a writer for Saturday Night Live.
I thought you quit.
What quit? Who quit?
David famously wrote Seinfeld's George Costanza as a stand-in for himself.
And one of the characters will be based on you. No, I don't think so.
While Kramer was inspired by Kenny Kramer,
I'm out.
David's real former neighbor.
How much like the Kramer we know was the real Kramer?
Only for their propensity to kind of stay in the apartment and avoid employment as much as possible. That's what they had in common. But there was a fruit stand right over there. That's where I got banned from.
Which became an episode.
And at this moment, you're banned from this store. You're banned. But what am I going to do for fruit?
She gave me bad fruit. I had one, and it was terrible, and then I wanted to return the others. What's wrong with that?
David ran the show about nothing for 7 seasons and returned for the 1998 finale.
Haven't we had this conversation before?
You think? Well, it started with the two of us in a grocery store talking about breakfast cereals and what have you. And we went, yeah, this is what the show should be, this kind of dialogue, which I never heard on television.
When you look back on it now, can you believe how broadly popular a show about you and Jerry in the grocery store became across the country?
Like I said earlier, anything that I do that's successful is a surprise, yes.
So you're still surprised, even that Curb is such a hit?
I'm still surprised, yes. I am.
Which raises the question, is there any chance in your mind that this is not the end of Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No.
No chance?
No chance, yeah.
This isn't like a Tom Brady, Michael Jordan?
No.
Leave the door open kind of thing?
Yeah, no. Now you're upsetting me, Willie, yeah.
I'm trying to draw out some sentimentality.
Leave me alone.
I tried. I am so grateful to have played even a small role in that final season. Thanks, Larry. You can catch Larry on the road through early December on the tour he calls A Conversation with Larry David. And our thanks again to the Producers Club in New York for hosting us. Don't forget to subscribe to the Sunday Sitdown podcast to hear the full extended interview with Larry David, including much more on the unique process of making Curb and those early days of Seinfeld. You can find our conversation on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get yours.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.